Hello, 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 and welcome. Hi there, it is Doyle here, and today we are covering the topic of, will I be able to make my business work? So if you are watching this, then you might well be at the dreamer stage of your business. Even if you've been going a while, sometimes that can happen. And this video is part of the Which Creative Entrepreneur Are You quiz video training series. And this quiz is designed to stop any overwhelm or confusion and to identify your 3 best next steps for you to take, as well as your 3 mindset shifts that you need to make in order for those steps to work. Now, when you get to do this, that means you get to focus in on what really matters in your business, and you can ditch all the things in your to-do list that are not going to work for you right now, or that are, even if they would work, it's like, well, maybe you need to be moving on to something else, or maybe you're just spreading yourself too thin, so then you can focus on what's actually most important. So if you bear with me one moment, I am just going to pop the link to the quiz. Here we are here. Okay, so I am going to put that in the comments for this, if I can find this here. Okay, so with, no, that's the wrong one. For those of you who don't know me, by the way, and thank you for the hearts. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Doyle. I'm the founder of Creative Flow TV, and I work with creative service entrepreneurs, people like designers and graphic and web designers, videographers, copywriters, photographers, etc. If you do creative services, then I can help you to confidently and profitably stand out from the crowd, doing creative work that fills your heart with pride, and doing that without being, feeling like you're selling your soul. Thank you for the hearts. Hey, Yulia, great to see you here. Okay, let me just get this link in for you. I just want to make sure that I have that for everybody. And okay, great. All right, so let's get into the content then. So what actually is happening when somebody is in this stage for the dreamer? Maybe they are feeling like, oh, I've got too many things to do to set up my business. They might be feeling it's not happening fast enough. They might be feeling, okay, if I'm better at what I'm creating, if I create more, then that will just attract clients to me. And they might be feeling, I don't want to be salesy. The thing is that most creative services entrepreneurs have never actually really been taught how to sell. You've been taught how to be a great designer or how to be a great photographer, whether you've learned it in university or you've been learning it on the job, and maybe you've broken out, and set up on your own. So the thing is that quite often people feel, oh, well, I'm going to keep going, doing what I'm doing, and I hope that more clients are going to come to me. They are going to recognize what I'm doing, that, the more that I create. I'll talk to the people that I already know. They are thinking, okay, well, I'll just do some more social media posts, okay? So that's the way that you think you're going to get out of this. However, the challenge is, the real problem is that maybe you haven't got your positioning right for your minimum viable service offering. And we talked about this in yesterday's video, for you to focus in on something and to go out there and get those first few clients to prove that this concept works, okay? And so once you've done that, this is the next step then, where you've got to go and sell more of it. So you've got to make sure that you're taking the feedback from the people who said yes about why they bought, the people who said no about why they didn't buy, to make sure that you're packaging and positioning this right before you get it in front of more people. And the thing is that you've got to have the mindset of sales is service, okay? And I want you to imagine, if you, it's almost Christmas here today, and imagine if you went out and bought a load of Christmas gifts for the people that you care about, your family, your friends, and you got them and you wrapped them all up and they looked amazing and you're really happy knowing, okay, these people are going to love the presents that I've got for them. But then instead of giving it to them, you hid them in a cupboard. So why would you do that? Okay, why would you take your gifts and actually not give them to the people who they were intended for. And that is exactly, if you are holding yourself back from selling, that's exactly what you're doing to somebody else that you care about, your potential clients. And so I want you to take the attitude of, well, when I share my gifts, when I share what I'm doing with my creative services to my prospective clients, then I'm actually going to help them. Okay, I am giving them a gift rather than trying to take something from them. Because the whole thing about making a sale, it's an exchange. Okay, it's not about being pushy, it's not about being demanding, it's not about ripping people off, it's simply an exchange. They value what you have to offer more than they value the money in their pocket. And so that's why they will do that. So, and remember, it's okay to get rejected. Particularly at this point, I would expect you to get a lot of rejection. Maybe you haven't been used to doing sales before. Maybe you were only doing the creative bit before, but now you're actually having to go out there and be an entrepreneur, be the owner of your business and take on that responsibility for making the business work. And we'll talk more about that in the mindset lives I'll be doing next week. So I want you to have those beliefs. Expect to get rejected, not in a, oh, everybody's going to reject me way, but in a, okay, yeah, I'm going to get no's and that's okay. Okay, you might have heard the term fail forward. And that's really about, well, get to those no's as soon as possible and learn from every one. And then that's going to make the yeses happen much more frequently and much faster as well. Okay, so what you need to do then in order to make this work is you've got to structure your time to make sure that you are spending the bulk of your time on sales producing activities. Now, one of the things at this stage is that just doing social media posts, for instance, and depending on word of mouth is not going to help you. You must reach out to the people who could be your potential clients. Right? So yeah, absolutely, Yulia. It's all about mindset and the way you look at rejection. Definitely. So because you now have this new mindset, that means you can reach out to those people that you might not have before. Getting those first few sales to prove the concept, you probably did it from people, from existing contacts. But now that you've done that, you've got to break through that comfort zone and get in front of people that maybe you don't know yet. And so you've got to structure that time to make sure you're spending enough time on doing that. And the second thing is I want you to master one, maybe two, but at this point, no more than that. At the next stage, I talk about having more than, one or two. But right now, I want you to really master a method of generating potential clients, okay? So look at, okay, what is going to work best for you? Is it messaging people through social media? Is it going out and networking? Is it public speaking? And it needs to be something that is quite immediate and that allows you to get into conversation with people quickly. This is not the time to be doing content marketing. Content marketing is brilliant. This is what I'm doing right now. I'm creating content and marketing my business through it. However, it doesn't, when you first get going, it can take way too long for that to actually come to fruition for you. So I want you to make sure that you're not procrastinating and avoiding having those conversations by going, oh, I'll do this and this and this and create all this stuff. At this point, you don't even have to have a website, okay? It's because it's all about the conversations. And that's what you've got to do, is to master those. This is so important. Like, I've had some absolutely amazing messages from people. There's one person who I connected to on LinkedIn, and he told me that he had created 5,000 paintings and hadn't sold a one. 5,000. And so because I know, like, for us creative people, the temptation is to create and to create and to create and to create. And you've got to understand, it's, he might be going in completely the wrong direction. And even if he is going in the right direction, he's got no feedback. He's not getting in front of people. And I don't want you to be in that situation where you think, oh, if I have more products and more services, then people will buy them. focus on the one that I was talking about yesterday. And I want you to think of it this way, right? Right now, you need to take a lot of action, and it's very much going from you to other people, not in a spammy way, obviously, but it's all about you taking that action and initiating the contact. And once you do that, that allows you to gain some traction. Okay, so then things start moving a bit more. That's the point where you could maybe start, looking at other things. I'll talk about that in future lives, about the next stage and what you do. And once you do that, then, you've got action, then you gain some traction, and then you start having attraction. Okay, but you can't expect to have attraction right now at this stage. And all the people who are telling you to be doing that, they're really talking about people who are further on in their business, but they just didn't say that. Maybe they're not even aware of that. So this is the thing for you. You have got to knuckle down and get focused on those sales producing activities, structure your time for that, and make sure that you are mastering ideally one, like you might have another one, a lead generation, to get in front of people and have those sales conversations. Okay, if you've had value from this live training, then I want you to know that I go into this much more with my paying clients and also with my brand new Facebook group, which I literally just have opened the doors to, and that is called the Courageous Creatives Community. I'll pop a link into the comments so that you can join there. And so, if you haven't already, click the link in the comments to take the quiz. I'll pop the group in there. Come into the group as well. We're going to have great discussions. It's all about, kind of learning more about the strategies you need to. It's about collaborating with other service providers, and just building those relationships, because at the end of the day, they are so important. Okay, I am going to go have a fantastic rest of the day and week, and I will see you on Monday at the same time. So 5 p.m. GMT, 12 p.m. EST. Okay, see you. Bye.